Blizzard is doomed if this is true. Well, that's kind of ominous.
Another Blizzard 4chan leak, bleak if true. Overwatch 2 is undergoing a hasty redesign behind the scenes, relaunching as Overwatch Next. And essentially, Overwatch 1 is trying to undo the damage. Diablo 4 has lost most of its original development staff. Thank God. And
yes.
The seasonal team is taking over and working on an expansion to act as a soft...
Hey, if you fire everyone on the Diablo 4 team and hire new people, you only have a chance to make it better at this point.
Reboot. Good. Yeah, that's what they should do. Get rid of the people that fucked up. Dragonflight is the remains of a canceled mobile game co-produced with a Chinese partners that was bolted into World of Warcraft to pad a massive gap after the catastrophic response to patch 9.1. This lead to a ship and tone the players have noticed and found off-putting. 11.0 is going to be announced at BlizzCon with a shift to a free-to-play seasonal battle pass model similar to Destiny, with smaller-scale micro-expansions sold as optional premium DLC that will include elements like new dungeons that require these DLC packs to access. I think that if they do that, they're probably going to end up actually unironically killing the game. I do. Like, I have no problem with them making it free to play with the seasonal battle pass that you have to buy. Like, I don't really think that's gonna... That would not ruin the game for me.
True, unless they would put some extremely pay-to-win stuff behind the seasonal battle pass. Which is technically a thing that Blizzard may do. But, you know, probably not.
Like, any more than, like... The way that I look at it is that I think WoW already... Like, the integrity of the game has been destroyed with the WoW token. Like, any integrity and any value and any accomplishment in the game was destroyed the moment that they allowed you to buy gold. Because you could just buy...
No idea why that would be a thing, but okay.
Gold and get anything that you want in the game. And it's completely legal and that's it.
I mean, you could already do exactly that and more illegally before, so what's the big deal?
So, like, I don't really care about this. Is this going to make the game any more, is this going to remove any more integrity? Well, it never had any to begin with. So what's the problem? How do people not boycott the game? Well, because gamers have no self-control. Yeah, that's all there is to it. So, sorry I can't play Dungeon X. I don't have the...
Well, the people who dislike this are already boycotting the game. It's called not playing it. But guess what? The people who don't care are still playing it. Pretty simple, honestly.
DLC for it? Yeah, exactly. I think if they try to have people buy, like, a bunch of micro DLCs, the reason why WoW is successful is because people are, like, very invested already into it. And there are very rarely times that you have to, like, redo that investment. Like, you buy an expansion, what, every 2 years? Something like that? Asking people to buy, like, a regular battle pass all the time is going to be, that's going to get a lot of people to stop playing. Because another issue with WoW, and this is, like, a cultural problem, is...
I heard no reason that why buying a battle pass is going to make people stop playing it. If the game becomes free to play, well, the numbers are going to shoot up because bots, obviously, right? But I didn't hear a single reason why people are going to play it less. I don't know.
Is that WoW is a game that is full of a bunch of boomers that don't like new video games. World of Warcraft has been around since 2004, and some people have played it since then.
True.
So if you add in a battle pass, which is like one of the definitive characteristics of new age gaming, and the truth is, like, the trading post is a battle pass, right? But because you're not buying it, because it's not really a battle pass, people don't see it the same way. And guess what? People are going to be pissed off about a battle pass. Like, think about how many of them got mad about being able to buy Trader's Tender. It was just so crazy. I think if they make the game free to play with the seasonal battle pass, I don't really think that's, like, a horrible thing for the game. I really don't. Like, because all of the things that a sub is supposed to avoid, right? So paying a subscription to a game, the idea with paying a subscription to the game, this is my opinion, is that you pay the sub so the game doesn't have weird pay-to-win stuff, right? Like, you pay for the
yes.
game, so you have to earn the things in the game, rather than if it's a free game, and then you have to buy them, right? But World of Warcraft has their cake, and they eat it too. So they make you pay a sub, and you can still buy the best mounts on the store. They have a sub, and you can still buy gold. What the fuck? You can still buy level boosts. So you're effectively paying for nothing. The overall balance is so much better in older...
Well, yeah, because World of Warcraft is using the fact that people are willing to actually dish out money and pay for the subscription as kind of a desperation meter, in my opinion, because they understand it. Well, you know, that we are shit, but we are still the most played shit in the world, right? So, why not add some pay-to-win mechanics? If everyone thinks we're already shit, we can just do that anyway, and it's gonna be fine. Not a lot is gonna change.
Their games, because they kept it easy and simple. Do you want to know why the balance of rewards and everything is better in older games? Is because you think the balance is broken, but you don't have the same goal as the developer. And that's really what the issue with some of these live service games is that the goal...
Okay, I literally don't understand a word he's saying anymore. How did that make sense? Well, let's listen to that one again.
You can still buy level boosts. So you're effectively paying for nothing. Do you want to know why the balance of rewards and everything is better in older games? Is because you think the balance is broken, but you don't have the same goal as the developer. And that's really what the issue with some of these live service games is that...
Yeah. Did he forget to take his meds? Because it seems like he forgot to take his meds.
The goal of these live service games is to keep the player on the treadmill, keep the player on the hamster wheel as long as possible, and to make farming an item very annoying and obnoxious, so they spend...
No, he can't even say, but older games didn't do that. That was not the intent of older games, because it doesn't fit in the rhetoric.
Money to get around it. So the reason why balance in these games is bad is because it's made to be bad. They want the balance to be bad, because if the balance is bad, that means people spend money to make it...
Okay, but how does that explain why older games... Dad! I'm gonna have a heart attack!
Good. That's why, like, for example, in Honkai Star Rail and all these other gacha games, like, do you really think a game that's not like Honkai Star Rail, like Elden Ring, Lies of P has that stupid fucking fruit thing, but otherwise, like Baldur's Gate 3, from my understanding, I haven't played it, Blasphemous, like many single-player games that aren't live service games, like Code Vein, Fall Guys, Halls of Torment, this kind of stuff, there aren't these massive time gates. They don't exist because they don't need to exist. Because they only exist...
Wait, they do exist. Halls of Torment is literally a giant, massive time gate. That's quite literally what a roguelite survival game is. It is a giant time gate. By very much design and definition. Okay? Lies of P or Dark Souls games. They're very... those games can't even be talked about in this sense. Because those are very specific games for a very specific group of people that want to do very specific things. Those games are not for everyone. You're either gonna call them shit and boring, because all you have to do is just stroll around until you get to hit the kneecaps of your enemy from behind, or you're loving it because it's the best experience ever. You can't even talk about this stuff and bring that up as an example.
Like, they're basically putting ankle weights around you and then telling you that you have to pay every day to remove the ankle weights. Isn't it so companies don't care about real gamers because real gamers don't spend as much money as someone who plays it casually? No, it's because real gamers spend more. And like, if you go back to, remember that,
what the fuck is a real gamer even? Like, is that someone who plays Dark Souls because it's hard? Well, I spit on those losers who think Dark Souls is hard. Go play Lost Ark if you want to play something hard. Oh, this boss has 3 mechanics. I need to dodge, dodge, dodge. Oh, this boss... Yeah, how about Lost Ark where the boss has 20 to 30 mechanics? How about that? Yeah, it's not even oranges and apples. It's atomic bombs versus apples.
That presentation that we watched about, like, let's go whaling and all that stuff, that said explicitly, and I think it's true, that the most people pay for microtransactions to save time. Like, they are efficiency-based microtransactions, like getting...
Yes, we all know this.
More Una's tasks in Lost Ark, the auto-completes, getting more energy in Honkai Star Rail. Right? Like, that's the kind of stuff that people really spend money on. So I think that actual gamers spend a lot of money and stuff like, yeah, bag space, yeah. So yeah, I mean, WoW has all this stuff, and you still have to pay a sub? I don't know. I mean, cry me a fucking river if you want to make it free to play. As I said, the integrity for this game went out the window the moment they let you buy gold. And any game that lets you buy gold, I don't really have, like, a very high respect.
I don't agree with this. The WoW token did not kill the game. The WoW token did not remove the last ounce of integrity World of Warcraft had. It was pretty fucked before that.
For accomplishments inside of the game. And like, of course...
The WoW token just essentially said, hey, here's a legal way to do all the things you're already doing. Yeah, sure, more people started doing them because they're now legal. But does that actually change your experience in the game if you're not doing it? No. So, who cares? Technically, kind of. Because, does World of Warcraft retail really... It's a solo game. I'm pretty sure most people don't even talk... I have played it. I have been in random guilds. No one talks in those guilds. It's absolutely dead. It's not a social experience. So, technically, what do you care about... In retail, what do you care about someone buying power? You're never going to be interested in anyone who does anything. You're never going to be interested at looking at someone who's standing on a hill somewhere. Because, you know, he's as generic as everyone else.
Of course, you know, it's not, that's not true entirely, right? I mean, like, being a rank 1 gladiator is impressive, right? But, like, having a lot of money or having something you can just get with money, that's whatever. Odyssey has been...
Like, being a rank 1 gladiator, probably? Probably possible, right?
Revamped for the 3rd time, will not be ready for multiple years. Worries that its survival crafting focus is already going to be outdated by the time that it releases. Well, I think this is actually a really good point that this person brings up. I think maybe inadvertently. And it's a big problem that AAA games have, is that AAA games have a life cycle and like a development cycle that is so long that they are unable to accurately respond to a market. The ways that like some companies get around this, like...
That's stupid. That's bullshit. Technically true on paper, but we all know that this does not work like that in real life. You know? Unless the system that you're crafting is absolutely mind-bogglingly stupid, annoying, and boring, you're fine. You're fine. You know? If this was true... You know how you can instantaneously disprove this statement here? Well, it's by the fact that most games now are in like development for 6 to 7 years or something like that. And guess what? They come out and still some of them are bangers. Still some of them are bangers. They try new things, they try old things, and they still are. It has nothing to, you know, there's no such thing as a crafting system that's gonna fail with time. There is no such thing. Absolutely, that thing does not exist. There's only bad crafting systems in games that will fail because they're bad. No, people are not gonna say, oh, well, you know, this gather materials and then craft an item system is so 2 years ago. No, it's still gonna be that. People are still gonna use it. People are still gonna like it. It just depends, is the game good or not? Is the system good or not? It has nothing to do with time.
Like, for example, like Grand Theft Auto 6. I bet Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna be insanely fucking good. You know why? Because they know what people want, and people are gonna just wait until it's there. Like that.
No, they don't. No, they don't. GTA 5 was a great single-player experience when it released. The multiplayer experience was honestly kind of fucking dick shit. You know? The heists were boring, the heists were too hard, acquiring teams was hard, navigating through the systems was hard, there were not enough interesting things. GTA 5 was a banger because of its solo experience. And then a little bit of the fun shooty bits in multiplayer. But other than that, GTA 5 was bad. The developers had no clue what the people want in a multiplayer game.
That's it. But
guess what? They actually made it decent. They made it so people want to buy the shortcuts. They made 70 billion different things that you can buy in the store and whatnot. You know? Because they figured it out. It's change.
Games that are trying to like capitalize on a genre, like battle royale or you know, survival games. By the time that these games come out, a lot of the like little nuances of design have completely changed in the player's mind. Survival's not outdated, but there are certain things I think in survival that kind of are outdated. Like for example, I think that a lot of players are. And this is a vibe check. I'm not really like I don't have like a fucking study for this. But I think that players are probably a little bit more annoyed by like having to sleep in games, like getting tired in games. I think there are certain types of just kind of like time waste mechanisms that kind of just waste your time, even in survival games.
Well, first of all, sleeping in survival games was honestly never a big deal, except like one survival game I think that did it, and you know that was a thing. But every other survival game doesn't even try to make you sleep.
So it's like, and I'm again, like, there are some people that don't feel this way. It's totally fine. But what I'm saying is that I think that there has been a bit of a shift. And
no, I don't agree with this, because there was never a shift in survival games that you have to sleep. No. The best example of sleeping being a mechanic in a survival game is probably Fallout Hard Mode. But that used sleeping not as a sleeping mechanic, but as a saving mechanic. It wasn't actually sleep to sleep for the sake of sleeping. Sleeping was just the save mechanic. And I think... So, it's not even a sleeping mechanic. It's a save mechanic that just has the button sleep on it. Yeah, sleeping never caught on as a thing in general, so I don't know. This is a moot point.
The AAA game studios aren't able to... it's like, you know, for example, if you're... I mean, obviously, you freeze to death. But, like, there's no way a canoe would have hit... Or a Viking longboat would have hit the iceberg that the Titanic did, right? Because they would have just been like, oh, wow, well, let's turn around. Because they can easily turn it around. It's not a big deal. But a big...
the problem with Titanic wasn't the turn around part. The problem with Titanic was the see it part. Which can actually be also a problem for a Viking log ship. Not sure why the fuck he called it a canoe.
Big ship like that can't turn as fast. That's just how it is. So...
Well, also a small ship can't necessarily turn as fast. The unique thing about Viking ships, by the way, is the fact that they could go in streams, but they could also cross, you know, giant vast distances of open water. They were small enough for the streams, which was a huge advantage, but they could survive storms in open sea. So, you know, that's a thing.
Yeah, I think that's
I don't think they had better turning or whatever. They were still big and hard to turn.
Another big problem is that these games are so big and there's so much money invested into them that they can't adapt to the market as fast as the market changes. Hearthstone is at the lowest engagement metrics it's ever been at. Attempts to increase monetization per player have failed, and it's considered on its last legs.
This seems a bit true.
Diablo Immortal. Oh, I love this. The light in the darkness is Diablo Immortal.
Good.
Is extremely profitable, and its user base retention has far exceeded expectations. I believe that. I do.
I also do.
The hero and savior of Blizzard Entertainment.
Pay to win. It works for a reason.
Diablo Immortal. Can you check how much money Diablo Immortal made? Yeah, sure. How much money does Diablo Immortal make a month? Let's see here. Diablo Immortal supposedly made Activision Blizzard $2 million a day. The mobile gamers are not here reading this. They are living life, having fun, buying powers on their lunch break, and they don't care about games like you do.
True.
Meth addicts are having fun too. Yeah, mobile gaming. This is and this is why this is why so many games are trying to get a normie audience, because a normie audience doesn't care about all of these like weird. Okay,
every game has a base normie audience. Again, the people who are playing retail currently are 99% all normies. Every game, you know, the people who are playing it are probably normies. It is what it is.
Like lined in the sand issues that gamers care about. Like, gamers care about de novo. Gamers care about early...
I think he means de novo.
Early access. Gamers care about pay to win.
Everyone cares about early access because the reality is 99.9% of people buy the early access thing. That's why companies do it.
Sports enjoyers. Average, did you see the game last week? Havers. You know, the Bills, the Teds, the Davids out there that are just, you know, fucking 37 and they, you know, I used to play Diablo. It's on the phone now? That's crazy. What's this about? You know, 800% value. That's a lot. Wow. Well, I guess I should buy this then, right? Yeah, the Star Wars.
I mean, that's a misconception. The average person doesn't give a shit about your 800% value. They're looking at it and they're like, oh, that's a lot of stuff for not a lot of money. Like, the gamers are the only ones. So, here's the most brutal thing about gamers, right? Gamers think they're smart. In reality, the average gamer is as stupid as they fucking come. That's the reality. Gamers think they're smart because they play the game, and in that game, developers, you know, put like 3 sentences about ancient Roman culture, and now you think you understand shit. No. The fact that you have some stupid esoteric knowledge about something that literally doesn't fucking matter from a rando game that you play doesn't make you smart.
Or Zandies, yeah, they've got 17 Funko Pops at home. They watch The Big Bang Theory. They heard about Diablo 4 from a commercial in between a sports game that they were watching. And they can play it for a few hours a week whenever the wife doesn't want them to do something. And these guys here don't care about early access. They don't even know what it is. They're like, what do you mean early access?
Wow. What a way to say that you're a millionaire, dude.
It's like, oh, cool, so we can play the game early? Oh, that's awesome. What do you mean people are mad about that? What are they, stupid? Yeah, what do you mean? And so that's why so many of these games, they try to appeal to these like super omega normies, right?
Jesus.
Because they're a much easier community to please. I think the issue, though, is normies, that they're very short-term. They don't stick around very long-term. I think only investors want normies. Okay, so like if
Why wouldn't the normies stick around? There's no reason for that to not be the case. Again, who do you think is playing Diablo Immortal? And why is it so successful? It's making a ton of money. It was never meant to be something that, you know, the investors care that has huge player attention. They just care about making money. Who do you think is playing Diablo Immortal? Normies? And hardcore gamers. That's who's playing Diablo Immortal. What? You understand. You understand to be a hardcore gamer you need to win. And if you have the money and you can win with money, well, congratulations. You're probably gonna like Diablo Immortal. What a stupid conversation.
You're right. Whenever Honkai Impact 3rd came around, like, are people still playing Honkai Impact 3rd? No, but they're playing Genshin Impact. And then Honkai Star Rail comes out, and they're playing Star Rail. So you're right, but you have to keep them on... You keep them on the carousel. It doesn't mean that they're always on the exact same ride, but they're on the carousel. You know, whether they're riding the unicorn or, you know...
Okay, you see, this opinion doesn't make sense because previously he said that those... So, now he's talking about the average people, right? But previously, not even 5 minutes ago... Well, not even 2 minutes ago, he said that the average person has no idea when anything's coming out or anything like that. So, how do they even know about this? By his logic, they shouldn't? So, yeah... all of this is just a fever dream.
The zebra or the giraffe, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because you got their quarter anyway. So yeah, they're just gonna go, yeah, keep them on the treadmill. Yep, it doesn't matter. It's that simple. Honkai's still huge. Yeah, but it's nothing like what it was. Seems like everybody's a gamer nowadays. You're right. Remember the Warcraft mobile game? Oh, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it for sure. We're gonna spend like... my goal with the Warcraft mobile game is to spend 1,000... I don't know, like, it depends on how popular the content is. If the content's very popular, then it'll be spend $10,000. But, like, if I'm not going to make that money back, then who gives a fuck, right? Like, the goal with the game will not be to beat the game. It won't be to have fun. It will be to spend $1,000.
What's a
How fast can I get onto this game and spend $1,000? And I'll have, like, a, you know what I'll do? I'll make, like, a little altar, and... every time I'll have like an altar with like a laminated picture of Bobby Kotick, and I will put a $20 bill every time that I spend money as like an offering to the altar. I think that's actually a really good idea.
That's not real money, by the way.
Maybe,
right?
You know what I could do? I wonder if I could get it like laser engraved into like a piece of wood, because I wouldn't want to have it be plastic, because then it would like smell bad, right? What's the rest of these? Microsoft expressed interest once the merger goes through to break up Blizzard as a singular entity and distribute its IPs amongst their studios while closing and reallocating the billions of dollars in Californian real estate the company's been sitting on, trying to force a return to...
Good! I see no reason for Blizzard to exist. This is good in my opinion. I don't care.
Office policy to make them look like they are...
Again, Blizzard is just failing and failing and failing and failing and failing and failing. And guess what more? Failing. So, them being broken up and destroyed, I don't see exactly a loss here.
Needed. Well, I mean, again, most places have been forcing a return to work policy for a long period of time. Like, I think mandatory return to work for a lot of places has been going on for over 6 months. So, like, obviously the Blizzard employees were very upset about this, but Riot has the same rules and many other people have. It's like 50-50 still? Yeah, no, but, like, they were upset about 50-50, is what I mean. It seems to me like Blizzard is, like, maybe this is like a macro doomer opinion, but, like, if Blizzard doesn't have something cool this BlizzCon, I would say, yeah, maybe they shouldn't exist the way they do. Because it's very clear that, like, you failed with StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 is a dead franchise.
I don't think they failed with StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 was popular, popping off and a really big thing back in the day. But yeah, it's old now, and our real-time strategy games, RTSs, are not that popular now in general. So, you know, I don't think they failed with StarCraft 2. It just naturally fell off. No RTS is currently popular, really.
Totally failed with Diablo 4. I think they are just slowly losing ground in relevance with World of Warcraft. People don't even care enough about the game to complain about it anymore. Heroes of the Storm, they literally...
I mean, that's been for a long time now.
Announced they failed at it.
Yeah, true. Also.
Overwatch is like... It's probably even a bigger meme than Diablo 4. Like, basically, every single one of their IPs they failed at.
Man, it's hard to say. Is Overwatch actually a bigger meme than Diablo 4? Because think about it. Oh, there are people who made careers in Overwatch. There are people who make Overwatch videos, content still to this day. And they constantly complain about Blizzard just destroying the things they love. But they still play. They still play. Diablo 4 players, though, they don't play. They don't play at all.
So, like, how can you have a company that's apparently failed with all of these games and Microsoft buys them and they're like, oh, okay, this is good, keep doing what you're doing? Like, if you were Microsoft, would you do that? Absolutely not. What about Warzone? I'm talking about Blizzard, not Activision. It's impressive. It is. Overwatch 2 is such a tragedy. It is. It's so
Oh, he finally man, Asmon, you need to watch more of my vids. Yes, finally, a decent opinion. I have said this every single time this shit happens. You do not buy a company because you think it's doing good. You buy a company because you think you can make it do way better. That's why Microsoft is trying to acquire them. Because they think they can do better. It's simple. I said this so many times. Thank you for understanding it probably after like the 7th video when I said it, Asmon. Good job. You're learning.
So it's so sad. Yeah, it is. It's really just sad. Don't they have adequate resources to develop Overwatch 2 into a full-fledged game? Bro, they don't even have adequate resources to make stash tabs for Diablo 4.
They do have adequate resources, but they're incompetent. Well, no. They're not incompetent. They're just clueless. Again, no, I don't think that there's a single game in Blizzard that Blizzard employees play themselves. I don't think that's a real deal. Because there's no way Diablo 4 passes if people have played that game. There's no way a lot of things pass if the developers just play their own game.
The problem is that, like, I wonder what would happen if somebody like Elon Musk took over Blizzard and did the patented fire 80% of the people strategy.
Hey, weren't you one of those guys who said that, oh my god, Twitter is gonna stop working any day now? When Elon Musk did that? Man, remember when Elon Musk took over? Man, I loved making those videos. Asmongold, Mudahar, Destiny even got into the mix. All of these fucking clueless idiots who have absolutely no idea how businesses function, how money works, saying, he can't fire 80% of people. It's not gonna work in 5 minutes if he does that. Oh my god. Pathetic.
Do you think that we would
Good times, though. Good times.
I wonder. Right? I do, I wonder. Because it's like, how can you have so many people working on a video game and you're seemingly unable to produce anything, like, better than, like, PoE?
Because they're
it's like,
activists.
imagine literally billions of dollars and you get beat by some Kiwis. Some hobbits and Kiwis. It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. What is this? How does this happen? Dude, Team Fortress 2 has been out for how many years? And it's probably going to have more players than Overwatch 2. Or at least on Steam. Probably because
That's
they put 6% of their
not
budget
true.
into marketing instead of game development. Well, I mean, I don't know. If they put 40% of their budget into game development, it should be a lot better than how it is. So, let's see here. WoW Classic has, I'm assuming this is more players than retail World of Warcraft right now. Cataclysm Classic is not in the works. Good.
Wait, Cataclysm Classic is in the works. Didn't they announce it? I thought it's like... I thought it's pretty clear that it's in the works. I wanted to play it. I never played Cataclysm. I won my... Dude! Oh my god. So my prediction was that Cataclysm is going to actually be a huge success for World of Warcraft. Because so many people left after the Wrath of the Lich King, so many people did not finish the Lich King, and then people didn't come back to Cataclysm because they heard it was bad. But now people are slowly starting to talk about Cataclysm like it wasn't that bad. So all of those people who didn't come back for Cata now could be coming back for Cata just to experience it themselves. So Cataclysm would be a huge success in my opinion. I wanted to play it. I never played Cata, and then I didn't play it because I thought it was probably bad. But no. Wow, this is sad.
And good. And I'm really glad to see that. WoW Classic has more players than Retail WoW.
That's
you know
a lie.
Why? It's because WoW Classic is a better game. It's a better MMO, straight up. And it doesn't matter about like how many quality of life features and things like that. Like, because WoW Classic has a lot of things that like I would want to change. And there are things like I could talk like for fucking hours about like things like little things like, oh yeah, I wish this wasn't like this or whatever.
Oh, no, wait, actually I wondered what they mean by about classic. Do they mean all of the classic current things online? Or do they just think classic as in, you know, vanilla? Maybe that's not a lie. It depends on what they means, because the term classic can mean multiple things here.
But it also had these things that were... Like, you can mind control the mobs in, like, UBRS or LBRS and cast, like, a fire-resistant spell on people to do Molten Core. Like, that's the good stuff that WoW Classic has. And that's just, like... And also, it's a really easy game. And it's, again... Like, guess what? Blizzard hired a bunch of no-lifers that played World of Warcraft all the time that were high-end raiders, and they made the game all about no-lifers and high-end raiders. Meanwhile, most of the people that play WoW are brain-dead boomers that are barely alive. Like, it's the same problem that Lost Ark has. Like, yeah, obviously the new Thamine raid is popular. People are going to want to see that. But nobody's going to clear this shit. They're going to have to nerf it like 10 times, probably.
True.
Because nobody's going to want to do it. It's the same problem with Belshazzar. Like, let's see.
Well, it's not the fact that it's hard, it's the fact that finding teams is hard sometimes in Lost Ark. It just takes a while. And, well, man, Lost Ark is so hard to put into this. Because, again, I left Lost Ark because one day I was like, you know what, fuck this. All my dailies take 2 hours to complete, roughly. I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. I can't. I don't want to waste 2 hours every single day waking up doing dailies in Lost Ark. I love the raiding. And maybe it was... It took long to get a team to do a thing if you weren't with your guild. You know, if you needed to do something that, you know, your guild's not doing. But other than that, it wasn't that hard.
See here... Where's World of Warcraft? I must have skipped it. There it is. Like, everybody here is just watching Classic WoW. Why are there this many people watching Classic WoW? It's because it's a better game. The reason why Hardcore WoW is really popular, and also, like, if they do a new Season of Mastery, people are going to watch that too. People are going to do that too. And also, people are interested in watching content that they can understand. What the fuck is going on here? And like, I know what...
I mean, yeah, we have talked about this previously. You look at a PvP battleground and, well, any kind of PvP, honestly, in retail, you have no clue what's happening. And to play that thing even remotely correctly, you actually need to understand what your opponent's classes also do. Because they all have 15 million buttons to press. And then you need an add-on that tracks the buttons that have been pressed. It's just, no. It's just a giant no. Look at the screen. I don't know what this is, some kind of key run, right? Or whatever it's called. I mean, this is so sad.
What's going on? I play the game and he's playing my main class. I know exactly what's happening, right? Well, not exactly, but I have a general idea. Like, there's too much going on. There's too much happening. There's numbers everywhere. It's constant stress fest, super high intensity. If you stop paying attention for like 1 minute, you're going to die. Meanwhile, you've got this one right here.
I mean, that's not true, but okay.
And there's one mob. And you're casting lightning bolts at the mob. And then whenever you have a crit, you can see the mob's health go down. And there's not a lot of stuff going on. It's just really fucking simple. It's really simple, and it's easy to understand. 2 guys are here. Okay? Oh, bro, why the fuck did you jump that way? Bro, it would have stressed me out. So, yeah, it's just way more clean. Exactly.
I can't.
And that's like, it's just
funny.
easier to watch. Like, what? Oh, my God.
I mean, to be fair, you kind of understand. You know, you understand that they're just pulling and killing shit, but it's just so many effects, so many things. It's not clean, it looks cluttered.
Look at this. This is crazy.
Yeah, true. True is true.
It's insane. Who wants to play this? And there's no, I mean, like, this guy's doing what he wants to do, right? Good for him.
Why is there a righteous hammer, by the way, just trolling around it, dude? Like, that's crazy. That's Diablo too.
Like, I don't want to shit on this guy. He's doing what he enjoys. But, like, it makes sense that something like this is a lot simpler. And it's a lot more enjoyable because, like...
Actually, I kind of hate dungeons in Classic. They're fucking tedious.
Being able to play a game at this level is really hard. Meanwhile, you can play this game, and it's really easy, and it's just fun. That's it. It's just fun. Yeah, that's why Classic is so successful. Like, whenever I think about going back to play WoW, like, sometimes I think about playing retail again, and I probably will go back to play WoW, and whenever I do, I'll play retail.
Yeah, that sounds like not happening.
I really am looking forward to a Season of Mastery, too. Like, I really want to play, like, Classic again. I'm not really that interested in hardcore for a lot of reasons. But, like, I want to play a new version of Classic. You know, I want to go back to Azeroth, right? Go back to the world. And just, like, the environment, the people, and everything.
Oh, that
so
sounds
great, man.
sad now. Stop.
I don't know. Like, maybe that sounds like stupid, but that's how I feel. Used to be fun, yeah, and I think that's really the difference, right? WoW now is hard, whereas before it used to be fun. Would you like if they added more mechanics to
I mean, I think that's, by the way, that's a lie. World of Warcraft, when it came out, was hard for most people. Again, we were kids. Fuck. I died in Durtar many times, I remember it. Fucking harpies randomly appearing, going into a goddamn cave, the Echo Islands. Oh, dude! Not fun. Not fun. Well, it was fun because you were a kid, but, you know, the game was hard when you were a kid. Now it's easy.
Existing bosses? No, because that's not what people want. Like, stop trying to make the game for tryhards. Stop it. Nobody wants to play that game. That's why, like, stop making the game hard. Why? Like, I can beat it. It's not a big deal. I can beat the game. Sure, I can beat it. It's no big deal. But, like, what the fuck? Is it going to be fun? Am I going to enjoy myself doing it? Not really. No, it's not fun to do. What makes you think current Blizzard can iterate successfully on Classic?
Nothing really. Nothing.
Well,
really,
I mean,
yeah.
if you want me to be honest, I think that besides the WoW token was a very bad decision. But I'm gonna say it. I think that every decision that they made with Wrath of the Lich King was a good decision. I think Blizzard had unironically made S-tier decisions with Wrath of the Lich King. I think it was incredibly
I have no idea what they actually changed, though.
well designed how they handled Ulduar. Sorry, but Classic WoW is so boring. There's many people think this way and prefer the pace and gameplay of retail. Well, if so many people prefer it, then where are they? then where are they?
Actually, that's kind of an easy to answer question through the lens of Twitch. So, people... So, let me just give you examples. This is retail when it came out. This is current retail. And when I say retail when it came out, I mean classic 20 years ago. This was its peak. This is currently retail because it has lost players all over that time. And everyone's watching hardcore and whatnot because they recognize that game. People don't recognize retail, and that's the reason why they are watching the classic stuff. Because they know they don't recognize the retail. They have no idea what to associate themselves with. So that's a slight explanation why there are so many more people watching hardcore than retail. Plus, it's the fact that all the big content creators are doing hardcore because it's the new thing. If you're a WoW streamer, you're gonna do hardcore. Simple. And when the retail expansion comes out, guess what? People are gonna be mostly watching than retail. It's just simple logic, really.
Like, this is very simple. You see, obviously, a depressed man living in his basement in, like, the Balkans or somewhere. I don't know where Joker lives now. Playing World of Warcraft. Right? Everybody can understand this. There's nothing crazy. There's nothing unique here. It's very simple. It's understandable. And the game is very simple. And that's why people appreciate it. That's what matters.
Oh,
it's relatable. It's understandable.
You
can follow along. Like, a person who hasn't played the game can understand what's happening in WoW Classic. A person who doesn't play the game cannot understand what's happening in WoW Retail. It's actually one of the reasons why my streams for Retail WoW were very successful, because I knew that, and that's why I only farmed mounts and I did, like, meta-level stuff, because I knew nobody actually gave a fuck about the gameplay. Because the gameplay was totally it was, like, it was illegible to, like, a normal person. I think that probably...
You can argue that that's true or false. You know, an easy argument for that being, for example, false is... let me think for a second. Oh, the fact that you have set out a goal, and now you're gonna roll the dice at either failing the goal or achieving the goal. Let's be honest. If you're an Asmongold watcher, how often were you happy that he did not get the thing that he wanted? That in itself, watching someone fail, is enjoyable. So, you know, there's the argument against that. Yeah, but there are arguments for that. This is... You can't say that that was the thing that happened.
Retail, the new WoW expansion, whatever it's going to be, is going to have more players than what's people playing Classic right now. But I think it's like an OSRS situation, where if they invested into Classic and they started trying to make Classic as good as it could be, I think that the ceiling for that is infinitely higher than trying to rehash the same... Oh, there's gonna be 8 dungeons.
OSRS is more popular, but it makes, like, what, 3 to 7 times less money than, you know, RuneScape 3?
Each dungeon's gonna have 4 bosses, and there's gonna be 2 mechanics, and then there's gonna be 100% trash mobs that you have to do inside of the dungeon. And this is the 17th season of the same thing. Have fun! Get the fuck out of here.
Ooh. Elon Musk. Anyway, well, that was Quizzer said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye bye.